Hello and welcome to Dizzy Pixie's After Hours demo series, where I try interesting looking demos that I find on Steam outside of my Twitch streaming time. Today I'm looking at an immersive city exploration game called Vuntra City or Vuntra City, I'm not sure which one, which I found last year when browsing Steam. I'm going to start load up the city while we're doing this, while I'm introducing this game. So city name, City, City C, looks like it only takes numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear name, Taigi. Go. And look, this says Ghost City. So one of the main selling points of this game is supposedly that it generates a large modern city for you to explore. So where you can enter and explore all the buildings. This appeals to me a lot. I love city downtowns and tall buildings and neon-drenched city skylines and things like that. So, and I wish that AAA titles and stuff, where those sort of cities that are usually found, allow you to enter and explore them. But of course, being able to enter each one, usually means either they spend a lot of development time, like designing small spaces that very few people will ever visit, or they use procedural generation, and this game uses procedural generation as far as according to them, right? So this particular download is an environment demo that supposedly showcases the procedural generation part of it. So I don't expect people in this, and I don't expect inhabitants of the city to be in this demo. But as you can see, there are cars. Ouch. There was no one in that car though, but you know. At least having cars around. What are you doing? That green car made a weird U-turn over there. But at least it kind of gives the city a little bit of life. Even though, as if you remember, where did you come from? When I was creating the city, the option type that I selected was Ghost City. So I assume that that's the term for a city where only you're the only inhabitant in it, and you can go exploring. And eventually there'll be other types of cities that you can create that includes people as well, and maybe different adventure modes. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But yeah, so tall buildings. And this is not the first city I've generated. I've generated a few just to test out. One of them was a nice pink car. All the cars kind of look the same. Why are you guys all doing U-turns there? That's where the earlier car did it. Why are you all doing U-turns here? Obviously, there's something wrong with the meshing in this part of the road. Anyway, one of the other cities that I generated was an evening time city with pouring rain. There were reflections on the ground and everything. Perhaps I might generate a few more cities just to see. Firstly, we'll do that to see what kind of cities the tech demo, the environment demo can create. So cool city. So this one is an afternoon city with some medium-sized buildings, and you can enter these buildings. There's a fun-looking fountain here. Ooh, I2 Road, Tusuk Road, Ray Street. So there's some car road meshing issues. The names that this game generates are not very good so far, but the fountains and monuments and all are amazing. Look at this. This is amazing. Look at the glimmer on the polygons here. Very nice. Even at this angle, you can see the sun reflecting off of this thing. That's very, very nice. And the city patterns are all very funky. This stall name is Bara. You can enter it. It looks like a... Can you enter it? Is this an entrance? This isn't an entrance. It looks like a chick shopping... Oh, it's not even a shopping... It's not even a store, is it? It's more like... It is a store. Yeah, I think it is a store. But it's a store together with a cafe. I can pick up a plate and drop the plate and throw the plate. Sorry. Well, it's a ghost town. No one's gonna scold me for that. And pick up books, design digest. Press E to save address, whatever that means. Drop. Fancy. I love tableware. Monday, January 1st. Very nice. Look at all the patterns that the different shells can generate with. All kinds of different ornaments and things that they create. Although these ornaments are kind of samey. That might be a function of the shop rather than a function of the overall generation though. Welcome to Riku. But I thought this was Bara. Property of Riku. Well, at least maybe Bara's the name of this shop, and this is a separate shop. Or maybe Bara's the name of the building, and this is the name of a shop in the building. I don't know. But at least the names are consistent between these things. Not sure I can do anything with this though. Oh. Oh. Hopefully no one needed that. Do not consume chaos, but also collapse. Press E to read. You have learned to let a little bit of darkness into your soul. Okay. No coming back from that one. Different problems and off tone. Nothing new in this book. The Book of the Moment by B. Atom. Nothing new in this book. So it looks like some books can give you stats and stuff, right? And some can't. And some are just there for decoration's sake. To conquer the reality of your world, you have learned to reflect on the mysteries of existence. While you can't seek paradise by why Matano, you have learned to seek understanding of the higher powers. Whatever that means. I don't think there are any options to open a character screen or anything like that. I can hide the UI, but yeah, there's no... This is an interesting option though. Dominant hand, right, left. So that shows I guess what floating risks you use to pick up an item. You have learned how to better manage your finances. Cool. I know there's in one of the other very brief games that I created, there was an elevator that let me go up here. Elevator. And this thing next to it that lets me save an address, whatever that means. Ownership. Apparently you can buy buildings eventually. You can turn off the lights. I mean, nobody's at home, right? So why have the lights on? Hello? So this is a 2-story building. Cool. Let's go to the top. Very cool. Ooh, look at that. It's a fancy. This is very fancy. But this is because on the outside of this there's a probably a light and advertisement thing on the outside of this, so that people outside the streets can see what building this is, right? It's trying to attract customers from outside. But this is what it looks like from the back of that. I pity the people working here. This is extremely distracting if you can't close the blinds. But still, it creates for like, look at the reflections on the ground. As a wanderer, it creates for a very nice scene because I don't have to actually work here. For this fellow sitting here, property of us though. So this is again different from the computers on the first floor, right? So this is a different company in the building. But again, within the different computers in this room, they're consistent. The name is Asta. How to respect space. Nothing new in this book. Of course I know that. I'm respecting a lot of space. Respecting everyone's space as I wander around and pillage the offices. From Nielsa Medi to Toaz Fadel. Toaz, to answer your question, we aren't allowed to use any devices outside of work because at some point, some people were too smart for their own good and they ruined it for everyone. Nielsa Medi. I wonder if this is generated randomly or if we will find that message across different computers. I don't think there's a way to log into these things. I think they just have a decoration. Very nice. There's a book here that was glowing purple. To regret the burden of mathematics. S is there. You've learned a tiny bit more about technology. Cool. So yeah, you can enter a lot of these buildings. Imagine being up there and being able to. I wonder if you can climb up to the roof. We'll find out, I guess. But we'll find out in a different game because I want to generate different cities as well and not just explore one city. So hold on with me while new city, Vuntra city. Let's use this random seed 2817468. Player name probably doesn't mean anything. But let's see what it gives us. Let's see what the cosmos gives us this time. Because in an environment demo, I want to see how different or how similar or how different the cities can be. Give the engine a chance to flex itself. So now it looks like we're in a late afternoon, kind of early evening kind of sky. Weather is still clear. There's still Maggie. There are a lot of seem to be a lot of 4-letter cities, shops and stuff around. 231 Avrido Street. A Greg. So Maggie must be a shop within here, and a Greg must be the name of the complex. There's a nice garden here. Look at these colors and flowers. See, I love these kind of like neon splashed aesthetic. Even though these are flowers and not cities. Look at this skyline over here. Look at that green thing stretching across. That looks like some kind of monorail, right? Or something. And this building is shaped really funkily. And supposedly you can enter all these buildings, right? If I take the time, I can go to the top of this building and kind of take a look from there. Not sure how long it takes to run there though. So there's only one model of car right now, it looks like. But I'm sure they'll add more eventually. Look at the glimmering on the water. Look at this. The glimmering of the buildings in the water. This is gorgeous. I love this. And the trees, they're all lit up with. So this gives me a very liminal kind of feeling, right? Even though there are cars around, you are kind of alone in this world. But all the lights are still on. And there's a sense of peace here. And that sense of like wonder because this is a human, slightly postmodern human world kind of thing. But also a sense of loneliness since you're alone. I wonder how different the game will feel when there are lots of people around. This is another weird generated name, Cat, for our building. I kind of want to make it to... there are so many different buildings I want to visit. I want to visit this building. I want to check out what's beyond this pink gate. I want to climb to the top of this roof. But I, in particularly, want to come to this building to see what it looks like inside. I want to follow the green. I'm gonna say this is a monorail, but I'm not sure. Line to the end of where it is, to its origin point, to see what it actually is. I thought this said bank at first, but nope, it's Bunny. Name of this place is Temabo. Where would the entrance to this building be? What is this? Word on the street, the block administrator's building is number 7. Interesting. So you can probably go there and do something. Do what? I don't know. We'll look at an entrance. Very nice. Look at the reflections on the floor from the light. This game is gorgeous. I expected like blocky graphics and something like that. But no, the design of this game is very well done. Graphics are beautiful, the reflections are gorgeous. The layout so far, I've only entered a couple of buildings, but I haven't got the feeling that they're very samey. They look different, which is good. The individual buildings look very different from each other, both outside and inside. I think this vase might be the same as the last one though, but maybe not. No, I think there's actually oh no, this vase was the same as the one we saw in the last this vase was the same as the one we saw in the last city. So things like vases, there aren't many versions of them yet. This is only a 4-story building. That's disappointing. So I can't actually go all the way up the curvy part. I was hoping I could go up to like the 20th level or something. Or maybe there's a separate elevator that goes up there. But this is not the 4th level. We're way higher. So I think maybe it's just... Look at that. The green thing ends there. Seems to end there. But it's not monorail though. There are no trains on it. They're not generated for this demo. So even though this is the 4th level, I guess there aren't many levels in this building, right? Because of the twistiness, probably the in between, the space in between each level is there's a whole bunch of twistiness. So even this, the 4th level, is actually really high up. I love the city sky and I look at this. Look at that building. What's happening over there? So like this, right? There are 2 floors here and 2 floors up there. So even if you hit like the 5th floor, 6th floor from the ground, you're not going to end up here. You're going to end up way up here because these are not floors. That's probably what happened in this building that I'm in as well. See little cars going by in the distance. But the city is so lonely, so liminal. There's just no one around. But can you imagine this with people? I wonder how the animation would be. Right now, even though it's very beautiful, my computer isn't lagging at all. I'm having no issues generating it, and I'm running an NVIDIA like 3060 or something. So it's not... You don't need a particularly powerful or beefy graphics card to run this. Yet, I don't know if it'll be different once you can see a lot of people running around. This is an interesting kind of layout. These flat buildings, these like flat squarish areas with low hanging buildings, with really short buildings, reminds me of like a Japanese district or something, a Chinese district. But then you're punctuated with really tall and really weird, funky, almost cyberpunkish buildings in the background. Like this is actually very similar to a building over there. So that's kind of a problem. This building is identical to that building. So maybe they use prefabs and you're going to see like this building, similar buildings spaced apart from each other. But this building is different. Kind of looks the same but not. But this and this almost seem the same. But this one has this thing on top, the white thing. This, as far as we can see, doesn't. Although that may be a distance thing. But it's not like a lot of, like this one repeats a couple times. Like 3 times actually. But most of the other buildings, this one is kind of similar to my building. So that's why you can see like 4th floor. The 4th floor is up here because there are no floors in between here. So it looks like the buildings, some of the buildings are samey, but there are a whole bunch of different prefabs nonetheless that they can plop down. Which also means that even though this is randomly generated, it's the placement that's randomly generated and the things inside. But the building layout is probably similar within, like that building is probably laid out the same as this one, right? And even here you can see the reflections of stuff in the water. Although I'm not sure what this yellow reflection is. There isn't really a yellow building here. So this might be a bit problematic, but still very nice to look at. Cool. Okay, very nice. Let's go generate a third one. New city 6632282. Taigi tree. Start. Now I hear rain, so finally we've gotten a rainy city. So this should be fun. Look at the reflection. So now that it's raining, the reflection You can see the reflection of things on the on the wet pavement. So all the lights are being reflected on the ground. It's very nice, very pretty. It's a rainy mid-afternoon kind of city, maybe early evening. There's a willow tree here that blocks most of the, like, kind of overhangs most of the road, which is a interesting design choice by the city. Like, the city planners probably should trim this down a bit. You can't exactly see the sign above it when you're driving. Yeah, the name generation, I would say, needs some work. Although these are not that bad, I guess. Edel, Terre, Rahan. This sign Ento is really squish. Ikri, Armasu, neat. That one's not really. Some of these don't sound like real like names that that anyone would use. Moam. Oh, does this say mum? Pretzel duck. Hot dog $2. Hot sausage $3. Chips 50 cents. Snapple $3. Apple juices $3. Anyway. This building has a nice like step pattern. I really like that. What is this? Oh, this is a map thing. You can search address. Known addresses. Oh, so when you save an address, this allows you to come here, click on an address, and it'll tell you you are here, and this is where you have to go. And look, these are train lines, I guess. So it generates a portion of the city, a pretty big subsection of the city, with some train lines that you can take. But of course, it won't let you take it out of the city, so you can take it from here to here, and it continues on without you there. Where this is like the end of the line, whereas like this like continues on. Very nice. Some of these names, like Sector Saitoedic, Sector Munat, Sector Fiafin, Sector Tilas, Sector Ainuya. Some of these names need to be a little bit better. The names feel very randomly generated, even though the cities look awesome. Esricas. The design, the different kinds of signs are very nice though. Even though some of them are very... I can't tell if this is trying to be minimalistic in design, or if this is just a case of they randomly generated a large sign but a small typeface. I don't know if it's done on purpose or not. I can enter and go into all those places. That looks like a bar. This looks like a restaurant of sorts. A restaurant called Acid Face. That's a bad name. Whatever this is, there's 3 different towers. Very similar towers here. Like radio towers or whatever. This willow tree with lights in it is very pretty. Especially when you can see the reflections as well. Very pretty. Stuff they've done with like fountains and sculptures. Very pretty. This looks like we've reached kind of the edge of the map, right? Right here we are on the very edge of the map. So let's go see what happens when you hit the edge of the map. Very nice cars, although they all have no wheels. So the edge of the map is just water. Just a waterfront, basically. Can I jump over the edge of the map? No. In one of the very brief tests that I did before the stream, before this recording, I went to the top of the building and I jumped down. And I just floated down to the ground. I think I jumped like 8 stories. No, I jumped like 14 stories. I jumped down from the top of a 14-story building from the roof. And I floated down to the ground. No harm done. I was hoping to be able to jump this and go into the water there. But they won't let me. Spark spots. Spark spots. Although that's probably for the best. I don't think that I doubt the game has a drowning mechanic. Also, this is underappreciated, but I should say, I really appreciate that white dot in the middle of the screen here. Although I think it's an option that you can turn on or off as you like. This thing, because the white dot helps with motion sickness, which I get sometimes when in like 3D games. I have not gotten that in this game. And a large part of that is probably because of the white dot. I love the sound of the rain falling. And when I enter a building, of course, the sound changes. Now you can hear the sound of rain hitting a roof. If you turn the volume up anyway. So that kind of stuff, I love it. ASMR. They got very why did they build so many fountains in such a small area? What a weird city design. This one doesn't even have a fountain, it's just a pool of water, stagnant water. But you can see the rain hitting they animated the rain hitting the water and all the little droplets that splash into it. All the wavy reflections of like buildings that don't actually exist here. Like this place has a tall building with a white colored thing on top, but there's none here. So I'm not sure where some of these buildings are actually. I'm not sure where to take. Oh, I'm creating splashes as well as I walk around. Where I stop, I don't create splashes as I move. I do create splashes as I move. Nice. Kinda. I'm not really creating moving splashes. I'm creating splashes as though I'm impacting the water where I land, but not as I move. Like all the ripples are circular, but still very good detail. I wonder where these buildings are. How they choose what buildings to reflect. Obviously, this building with a white thing here is nowhere to be found here. Maybe it's a building behind that, but then there's a second taller one here, and I don't see that one either. However, if I come here, it's the same thing, right? The same thing in this pool. So they're obviously reflecting an actual scene. I just don't know where that scene is. Okay, same for this third pool. You have this shorter building here with a green strip and a taller building here. And both of them have this white thing on top. It almost looks like they're... Let me go around this building and see if there's anything there. Because we're basically at the edge of... Yeah, no, the reflections are not quite correct, are they? Yeah, I would say that that's interesting. I would say that we are seeing a different ghost world in the reflections. Like this, there's a blue sign here and a yellow sign here. But they don't actually exist on this side, do they? Yeah, there's no blue sign or yellow sign even on that building. So we are seeing the reflections of either another part of this map, or a ghost building, a ghost world that doesn't exist. Like this is the edge of the map, so it's all water. But on here you can see stuff. You can see a world that doesn't exist through the reflections on this building. Maybe it loops around. Maybe the calculation actually calculates the buildings on the west side of the generated cityscape, since we're on the east. But who knows? I'll just pretend that it's a mirror world that we can't cross into, where all the people of this ghost city actually exist in. That's probably the best way to look at it. 951 Nopat Riverway. This is more a wide endless ocean than a riverway, But I'll give you that, it's close enough. It's cool that they acknowledge this as a waterside thing, so good enough. Sinisa. So yeah, some of these signs are, I've noticed, are very narrow. I'm not sure if it's on purpose. This one doesn't even have a... This is very fancy. It's not even the name of a company. It's a generated picture thing. I wonder if you can find different variations of this on signs. This one's got cut off, unfortunately. So something was wrong. Something happened here in the procedural generation that probably shouldn't have. But yeah, so this is Vuntra. Just make sure I get the name correct. Vuntra City, right? And Vuntra City, excuse me. And I really enjoyed my experience in this. I already wishlisted this game. Even if it's no more than a walking simulator, I'm probably going to get it when it goes live. Because I enjoy this kind of... like, even if it does nothing but exactly this tech demo, I'm happy with it. I enjoy generating cities and walking around with them, in them, and letting my imagination kind of fuel the quote-unquote gameplay. But it looks like there are more things planned, like books that you can read, stats that mean something, people to interact with, probably like trains that you can ride if I'm not wrong, and like it implied, like the administrator thing that we found implied that there's stuff you can do if you go to specific buildings and things like that. So I'm kind of curious where this goes and how they generate it, how the development continues with this game. So yeah, this was Vuntra City. This time I got the name correct. Ooh, this is very nice. This almost looks like a hotel. Look at all the fancy balconies here and all the way the light shifts. Depending on, yeah. Anyway, and this almost looks like Japanese in nature. The roof is kind of Japanese slope, like a Japanese temple. But the inside is decidedly Western. It's an office. Anyway, yeah, Vuntra City. Thank you very much for watching this demo. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.